Hello everybody and welcome. If you're here, you probably already know that the Season 5 changes are on the PBE. Lots of exciting changes. Today I've decided to focus on the jungle because I've been stuck at work all day and I've been reading about it and it's got me really psyched, and I've been theory crafting all day and I want to share some ideas with you so get some feedback, perhaps help people out that are on the PBE and struggling, and see if we can come up with some good ideas. So first, important changes, no matter what type of jungler you decide to be playing, is that the jungle is in fact now harder. You'll immediately feel the damage and take some time to kill the monsters. Smite has got a higher cooldown, so you won't be able to clear as quickly using your Smite. Old jungle items are now out, and we've got some really exciting, cool new ones that modify our Smite. I'll be talking a lot about those. The blue buff's pretty much the same, duration's a bit lower. The red one, though, also gives a health regen buff for as long as you have it, and the true damage works on towers now. The duration has also been dropped from 150 to 120 seconds. The dragon is now extremely, extremely important. It gives a permanent stacking buff. First time you kill it, it just gives you health regen. Second time you kill it, it gives you AD and AP. Third time is movement speed, fourth time is health, and the fifth time you kill the dragon, it triples all the bonuses you got from the other dragon kills. To compensate for this, every time you kill the dragon, it gets stronger against your team specifically. It doesn't get stronger in general. Your team takes more damage and deals less damage to the dragon. So if these changes stick, which everything is of course very tentative, this is just to help people that are in the PBE right now and generate discussion. I love coming up with interesting theories. The dragon buff will be highly contested, very important. The Baron buff gives the AD and AP, but not any of the defensive stats or regenerative stats. But the biggest change is that it buffs your nearby minions. The minions that are near you when you have the Baron buff. The melee ones take 50% less damage. The ranged ones have a little bit of range and more damage. The siege ones get a huge attack range bonus. They can attack from outside tower range. They deal 4 times the amount of damage with a AoE, but also attack twice as slow. The reason all the focus on towers is that the towers in these important objectives is that the towers are a little bit different now too, but I won't go too in depth about it. But there's a lot of focus on objectives that then lead towards capturing the towers. The other important thing about jungling is that when you smite and kill a camp, you get a bonus effect from it. When you smite and kill the wolves, you get a little ghost wolf that will guard the intersection on that side of the jungle and follow enemies that come in. Sounds pretty useful. When you smite and kill the Wraith camp, or the Razorbeak camp now, you get a permanent buff. I believe it's permanent. That expires when you walk into a ward's range. At that point, you will gain true sight for a few seconds, be able to clear all the wards there. So imagine you get that buff, and then you go to gank. If the ward doesn't pop, then if the buff doesn't pop, then you know it's not warded and you're free to gank. If it does pop, then you can clear the ward out and come back later. It sounds like a pretty sweet one. The golem gives you an auto attack execute, which they don't get very descriptive in the PvE for what it does. But what I believe it to be is pretty much like Targon's execute from the support item. If your attack would bring them to, I think, 120 health, it just immediately kills them instead. Smiting, killing the blue will give you mana. Smiting, killing the red will give you a large chunk of your health back. Hunter's Machete has been changed quite a bit right off the bat. As soon as you buy the basic machete, you'll notice that does 30 magic damage on hit over 2 seconds, which there's a lot of interesting things in that alone. You know, the previous iteration of Machete did magic damage on hit, and that's why a lot of the attack speed junglers are pretty good. because magic damage is pretty powerful against the monsters. Current iteration of the machete, a little bit more to help support the idea of tanky junglers. It deals physical damage on hit, and gives the damage reduction. But you'll notice here also that it's magic damage on hit over 2 seconds, so it's really powerful, but it won't be as good for building attack speed, because the attack speed will probably just reset the buff. The buff probably doesn't stack, I'm assuming. It also gives a pretty healthy amount of health and mana per second while you're fighting those monsters, which is definitely required. They're quite noticeably stronger. And additionally, you need Smite to even buy the machete. It's a little bit more expensive, so you can only get 2 pots, and it seems pretty powerful, and that kind of shows how much the jungle has gotten stronger. Now, the most exciting aspect that I've been pondering about all day is the upgrades to the machete. The first one I'll cover is the Stalker's Blade. After you kill 3 large monsters, you can use your next smite on an enemy champion. It doesn't deal quite as much true damage, but it slows them for 50 seconds. This one obviously caters to ganking a lot. Clear a few camps, gank slow. There's another one that helps for ganking, but I think this one is the ideal. There's then the Poacher's Knife. This one gives you 10 seconds off your smite cooldown whenever you kill a large monster. So obviously, if you smite to kill a large monster, instead of having a 60-second cooldown, you got 50 seconds. But based on the wording, you'll see if you then kill like a easy camp without using smite, you lose another 10 seconds. So as long as this is for you can use this to either AFK farm, if that's how you like to do your jungling. But obviously, you'll see there that when you counter jungle, you get a 50% gold bonus, and that sounds delicious and greedy. So champions that are great at counter jungling, Nunu, you could probably just be a real sadistic asshole and get a lot of counter jungling in with this baby. This one is an interesting one. Skirmisher's Saber allows you to smite an enemy champion, which gives you true sight of them, vision of them for quite a bit of time. Your next 3 auto attacks will deal true damage. It also gives you a shield based on your maximum health. And this obviously is great for dueling someone and split pushing. Great for dueling someone, which makes it great for split pushing. I could see this being pretty good on a Master Yi or something. Get those auto attack bonuses in there. This one could obviously be used for a great gank as well, but I tend to prefer CC when ganking, just because you've got someone else there that can hopefully deal the damage. This one is the most interesting one I've been pondering about all day, because at first it's hard to say who it clears to. It makes your smite do AoE damage, as well as stuns the camp for 1.5 seconds. It's really interesting, because why would you need to stun the camp if your smite isn't going to kill it? So it's obviously intending for you to not kill the camp with your smite, which is pretty dangerous and scary. If you're a good jungler, you don't want anyone to come take it, of course. I've been wondering what this means, and it obviously allows people to clear easier and take less damage. So I can imagine it caters to junglers that might be more glass cannon-y. I'd imagine like a Karthus or something, or if you're insane like me and you like to do Brand in the jungle, this could really help get some extra AoE damage in and allow you to not get beat up by the very strong new jungle for a few seconds. I also suspect, like, if you really crazy, the fact that it deals AoE damage too kind of implies that it helps against if your champion doesn't do very good AoE damage, which makes me think you could bring someone like Vayne into the jungle with this item, and obviously your AoE clear is not that good, so this helps it out. Obviously you're very, very squishy, this helps that out. So a lot of interesting new strategies enabled by these 4 new machete upgrades, and that's kind of what I wanted to discuss and bring to light, as well as show all the people that are new to the PBE and help guide them. In addition to the machete upgrades that are obviously decently cheap, some 50 gold, of course they don't give you any combat stats. That's because all 4 of these machetes can be then enchanted to give combat stats and make them worthwhile items to have towards the late game. This one right here, you combine Stinger with your machete, and it gives you something that makes you think of Pharaoh Flare. Attack speed, you get Jack's passive. Your basic attacks give you more attack speed and deal 24 bonus magic damage on hit. So, pretty good. It's probably going to be the equivalent, like I said, to Pharaoh Flare. Magic damage on hit and attack speed. I'd probably be hilarious to see a Jax use this one. There's, of course, Warrior, attack damage and lifesteal. Gotta have it if you really want to get that damage in. Maybe you're playing Vi, you want to deal more. Of course, Kha'Zix. This is probably what Kha'Zix will be going for. Juggernaut, obviously catering to... I forgot to mention this is Vampiric Scepter plus your machete. Juggernaut is, of course, Kindle Gem plus your machete. And quite decent stats. The best part, though, is that movement speed. That delicious movement speed. I love playing characters that need a lot of movement speed. And then Magus for your more rare AP junglers. And that is, of course, Fiendish Codex plus your machete. Yeah, lots of really interesting ones. I've been thinking of a few combinations. Of course, Skirmisher Saber with the attack speed. One sounds like a great combo. You smite them, get your attack speed, get your auto attacks off, and you're probably a pretty powerful split pushing menace there. Another thing I've considered with the Skirmisher Saber, obviously it's better for champions who land lots of auto attacks. I was thinking it'd be pretty good it'd probably be the one to choose if you are doing Rengar, perhaps. Of course, the one with the slow for the smite is a great option as well for powerful ganks. With the skirmishers, this one I believe is better for team fighting in the late game, as opposed to the one with the slow. But the Saber here, I could just imagine a Rengar invading in the enemy's jungle. Smite. It's kind of funny to think of smiting the enemy jungler. Smite the enemy jungler, and with that long-lasting vision on them, they cannot escape you if you're a Rengar in their jungle. You're just doing bush jump to bush jump, auto attacks for the true damage, shield. They can't mess with you. Seems like a really, really great option. And like I said, the stun probably enables some really goofy junglers. I can't wait to try Jungle Brand or even Jungle Vayne. I think this might be a fine choice, especially with the Slayer attack speed enchantment. I'll be brainstorming a few other interesting combinations, but I just wanted to kind of share them with you. If you've got some interesting ones, throw them down, and I'll be eagerly looking on the PBE and seeing what people pull off, hoping that these changes stick, because they seem really exciting, especially the new orientation on objectives, making it a little bit difficult to take the towers without getting these objectives. A little bit worried that new players who were already scared of jungling, kind of, this seems to add a whole new level but it's a new level I love and I hope it stays. If you disagree, please mention that as well. I'd love to hear all your feedback. Thanks for watching. Blah 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 blah. Rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think.